So a couple weeks ago, when we first got the information of Goku's decision in Chapter 65, and right as Chapter was coming out that week, I did a poll in the community tab where I asked everybody, I said, are you excited for the next arc after Moro? Which, as of right now, the Moro arc is coming to an end. I just want to clarify that. It'll be over in the next 2, possibly 3 months. I'm guessing it'll be sooner than that, but just to play it safe, I'm going to say the next 3 months just to be safe because we may have some post-moral antics and, stuff like that. Most likely it'll end in December. And then we'll have the beginning of a new arc, and we'll have probably some kind of promotion, whether it be a trailer or a reveal at Jump Festa on December 21st of this year. So make sure you mark your calendars for that one because I am expecting something to be shown there at Jump Festa for the manga. Now, I asked everybody, I said, are you excited for the next arc after Moro? And there were over 2,000 votes here. No, I'm sorry, 34,000. My bad. There were 34,000 of you guys voted. Voting is quite interesting topic this week. And we have 23% who said, not anymore, I don't trust Toyotaro as a writer. So that means that 23% of the 34,000 no longer really trust Toyotaro as a writer. And then 67%, which is the majority, said, I'll give it a chance. And then 10% said, very excited, Toyotaro's my baby daddy. So only 10% of at least this chunk, and obviously this is not the entire fandom. This is not even my entire audience. It's just 34,000 of them. Only 10% of 34,000 really are excited about the next arc. Now, I think that Dragon Ball fans, typically, a lot of them enjoy hype culture. I think a lot of people want to enjoy Dragon Ball. I think since Super has come back in 2015, I think people have, not come back, since Super has begun in 2016, Dragon Ball came back. People have been wanting to kind of recapture that feeling of classic Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. I think that's what fans have wanted for a very long time. And there were times in Super when it certainly did, and there were times in Super when it definitely did not. I think Dragon Ball Super Broly was probably the closest we all came to really recapturing that old school Dragon Ball feel. Even though it was just a film, the way that it looked, the way it sounded, the way that the action was choreographed, it really felt like something from the past in a good way. But the reason why I put this poll out is because if I'm going to be honest with y'all, even though as a content creator, I am excited about what's coming next, as a fan, I'm a bit, how can I put it, cautiously optimistic. What I mean by that is this, that even though I am curious about what's going to happen next, I'm also aware that Toyotaro is a very flawed writer and that he has botched things here and there. And based on the way that this arc is going and where the story is going, with now Goku mastering and being able to access Ultra Instinct at will, my kind of curiosity going forward is, where do we go from here? We have Vegeta, who knows Force Spirit Fission, who may in fact be able to catch up to Goku at some point, maybe not soon, but at some point. We have Beerus and Whis are still around. The multiverse, Jiren and Broly are around somewhere. Broly's probably on Vampa, Jiren's in Universe 11, and Frieza is also out there in Universe 7 with his army. But, excuse me. But, where do we really go from here? And I think that the reason why I'm even asking this question is because with Goku achieving MUI and being able to tap into it at will with the silver hair, is the next villain they face going to actually be Angel Tier? Is the next opponent, the next challenge for Goku and the gang going to be an Angel or higher tiered character? And if so, is that going to pose a problem for everybody, including the Angels themselves? Is it too soon? I know that it's been a couple years since Dragon Ball Super, the anime, ended, and the Moro arc has been ongoing for 2 years as of this month. And I know that 2 years might seem like a long time. Right? It might seem like a long time. I personally feel like Goku mastering UI and being able to tap into it at will, I think it happened too soon. I think Goku's kind of become a bit overpowered. Now, obviously, you could introduce a new villain that is Angel Tier, or some kind of new demon or something. There's a bunch of ideas they can put in. But does this mean that by the end of the next arc, that Goku will be Angel Tier? Like, are we headed to a situation where Goku's going to be able to, at some point, actually challenge the Grand Priest? To me, I'm not really one for putting a glass ceiling on characters. I'm not really one for that. However, I feel like, in my opinion, for Goku to have fully mastered Silver-Haired Ultra Instinct, I think it should have taken longer. I think it should have been a couple of arcs of Goku trying and failing before finally achieving it. Because, the hero's journey requires some form of failure. And yes, Goku did fail against Moro 2 times, so that is good. But I think that only 3 months to master UI, I feel like UI should be more, I don't want to say a lifelong journey, but it should have taken a lot longer than that. Because remember, he was in training with Mirrors for 3 months in that Room of Spirit and Time that he created. And I just think it's going to be awkward to see Goku be so strong and so powerful and be challenged. But I mean, I guess Dragon Ball always kind of does that. And then, of course, that begs the question, is he going to get a new transformation, which I don't want? Is he going to access a higher level than Ultra Instinct, which I also don't want, because Ultra Instinct was played up to be the strongest form. So right now, then again, so was Super Saiyan 3, right? So right now, I'm just kind of scratching my chin, wondering, okay, where do we go from here? It's more curiosity than anything, but also Toyotaro's failures as a writer have become pretty obvious now, and I think that Goku's development has been kind of, on a hamster wheel, so to speak. Now, this could change. I'm not saying it's not going to. When you scroll down here at some of the top comments, for example, George Anderson says, all in all, he has more hits than misses. If he makes a few bad calls as a writer, I'll give it to him, but most of his choices are good. So he's talking about how Toyotaro, even though he has made some mistakes, has had mostly hits. And I somewhat agree in that I do think that the majority of the Moro arc was good. So we'll give it to Toyotaro on that. I have enjoyed most of it. And I think his version of Universe 6 was great. His version of the Trunks arc I thought was great until the end. Tournament of Power was okay. I still probably prefer the anime version, but that's probably because the mediums are different. And he's made some interesting choices, but I still personally feel like the important thing about these arcs is that these arcs have to peak right. One of the things that works so well in old school Dragon Ball is that Toriyama is a master at making these stories peak well. During the Piccolo arc, he built up Goku versus Piccolo throughout the entire arc. Goku lost to Old Man Piccolo. Piccolo got younger. Goku went to go train. Got the holy water, came in, defeated Piccolo. In the Saiyan saga, Goku dies at the beginning of it, comes back with Kaioken, gives Vegeta a real challenge. In the Frieza saga, it kind of is building into Goku versus Frieza by having everybody else involved first. Like, you've got Goku's crew, who we're going to put Vegeta in there because he was an anti-hero during this time, even though he was not a good guy. We've got Vegeta, Krillin, Gohan, Dende, and on one side, and then on the other side we have the Ginyu Force, the Dorias, Zarbon, Kui, and Frieza. So we have sort of like Goku and Frieza's, like, I don't want to call them subordinates, but his crew, his clique, good versus evil, eating up most of the fights for the first half of the arc, and then it ends with Goku versus Frieza. So it all kind of built to that, and it built well and it had a great payoff. Same thing with the Cell Saga. We've been teased about Gohan taking the lead. Gohan takes lead at the end of the Cell Saga. The Buu Saga is a little bit, wonky at the end because Toriyama changed his mind a few times. But still, like, Toriyama was very effective at building to a big climax, and you can't mess up. You have to try your best not to mess that up, and I think Toyotaro has done that on several occasions. So even if the first half of an arc is good, if the second half is bad, it reflects poorly on the entire arc. See what I'm saying? And so for me, I'm just very cautious because it's still the same writing team. I don't think Toyotaro is that creative, but also at the same time, I also don't feel like Shueisha and Toriyama are even going to allow this guy to even go past the end of Z right away. I think at some point it probably has to happen for Super to survive, but I think as of right now, it's like they're comfortable being there. They don't want to take any risks. They don't have any balls. And to me, we need to have that because we need to see something new. I thought Broly was kind of a good risk, even though it didn't do anything truly new, but it did introduce a new Saiyan, which could end up being a character we see in the future. But I still feel like the way things are standing right now, I'm not sure what I want the next arc to be. Planet Sadala could be interesting if they figure out a way to have Goku and Vegeta not be the leads there and just be kind of support characters. Or if they do a side arc with one of the sub-characters like Frieza or Gohan or somebody else doing something, right? But to me, if it's going to just be a new villain shows up and then Goku and Vegeta do pretty much all the legwork like they've always done, it's just going to be the same thing over and over again. Super has become the Goku and Vegeta show, and I'm not saying I don't like those characters, but there's only so far you can go with developing those characters. And if you mess up the development like Totaro did last chapter, or at least, have a roadblock. I'm not saying Goku's totally ruined, but it did hurt the Goku character. I still feel like he can make up for this. I think he can, but will he? That's kind of the question. So those are my concerns about the next arc of Dragon Ball Super. Skull, Mature, Evil, Star, Blue, Purple, which is a great name. I'll give it a chance. Let's see if it's worth it. We might see something unexpected. And then FTDTs, I'll give it a chance because I think it's possible to revert the current manga condition. I just don't know how. Well, yeah, and that's the thing. We're all going to give it a chance. Dragon Ball fans, we're like wrestling fans. No matter how bad it gets, we're still going to watch, right? That's how it is, I feel sometimes. And I'm still going to give it a chance. It's just that I think a lot of us are just kind of tired of waiting for that old Dragon Ball feel. We get it in some instances, but I think people want it to go back to that all the time. And it's just not going to happen, I don't feel, like we want it to, because Toriyama's not the same guy he used to be. He's an older guy now. He's not writing it weekly. The magic is not what it used to be. Now, with a new creative team, though, and Toriyama still being involved in it to a capacity, it could be better. I'm just not sure if it will be. So that's my kind of little ramble for this video. Not too much to this video. Just wanted to get that out there. My thoughts on the next arc of Super. Again, we're going to know either this month or next month where that's going to go. We'll have an idea of what's going on. The Moro arc is coming to a close after 2 years, and let's see what happens. And I expect the anime to adapt the Moro arc. Don't know for certain, but I expect that to happen whenever that happens. But that's unrelated. Right now, we're talking about what happens after Moro, and I do not know. Could be some good stuff. Could be the same old stuff. Hopefully, some good stuff. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day. Remember to take care of yourself and each other.